Welcome to the Driver's Line. I'm Greg.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross XLE all-wheel drive.
Hybrid!
It's not, but maybe that's the better option. All right, as we said, this week we have the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross XLE all-wheel drive with us, and a big thanks to Toyota for lending us this little crossover that absolutely pops in this cavalry blue.
Yeah, that's right. And if you like car reviews, news, and shenanigans like our European road trip, smash that like button and subscribe for more automotive action. Now, let's see what this Corolla Cross can do.
So out on the road here with the Corolla Cross, and before anyone in the comments asks, yes, it's still a Corolla, just standing up on those tiptoes.
Yeah, it's a Corolla that discovered it likes hiking boots and decided, let's go outdoors. And for 2026, Toyota didn't exactly reinvent this thing, but they did clean it up in some smart ways.
Yeah, let's start with the size because that really tells you what this car is for. The Corolla Cross comes in at just over 176 inches long, about 72 inches wide, and roughly 65 inches tall with that 103.9 inch long wheelbase.
Yeah, so basically it's small enough that you're not stressed in a parking garage, but big enough that it doesn't feel like you're driving a hatchback and drag.
Yeah, and one number that I really like here is the ground clearance is about 8.1 inches, which is legit for a compact crossover. That's enough for snow, potholes, dirt roads, and whatever curb you accidentally climb at Starbucks.
Yeah, not rock crawling, but nobody's pretending that this is a 4Runner, right? I mean, this is the XLE trim, so it does ride on 18-inch machined and dark gray metallic finished wheels, which honestly feels pretty right size for this Corolla Cross.
It does. And you know, visually, the biggest 2026 change is up front. Gas models like this get a revised front grille that's a little bit more upright and truckish, and hybrid models get a sleeker body colored version that's flanked by some big air intakes.
Yeah, it's subtle, but it does make it look less economy car and more small SUV. We also get LED daytime running lights, standard across the whole lineup for 2026, which feels rather overdue, honestly, but we're happy it's here.
Yeah, and then there's this color, cavalry blue, which is new for 2026 and looks great contrasted against all the black trim and splashed on the front and rear fascias.
Yeah, and this color does a lot of the heavy lifting. One fact is that you can actually get Mazda's Soul Red on the Corolla Cross. Sort of amazing that Mazda lent one of their Takamori colors out to Toyota. But the CX-50 is built alongside this thing at the MTM plant in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, so overall the story for 2026 is pretty straightforward. Same compact size, easy to live with, a few smart styling tweaks, and some new colors.
Yeah, don't call it a glow up, but it is a solid refresh.
So anything you don't like about the exterior of this Corolla Cross?
I mean, there's nothing really too offensive about it. Honestly, it blends in with what it's supposed to do. I mean, there's nothing that really stands out to me.
No, it's clean, it looks good. I mean, there's really nothing to kind of harp on or complain about. Everything is well designed, well thought through. It's got some nice little Easter eggs with that Corolla Cross hidden in the front and rear indicators.
Yep.
So I mean, it's neat, it's fine, it's good, it's fine.
It's fine.
All right, so moving inside the 2026 Corolla Cross XLE, immediately you'll notice that this does not feel like a penalty box in any way, shape, or form.
No, this is way nicer than what the word Corolla might lead you to believe, for sure.
Yeah, let's hit the numbers first, because interior space is what really makes or breaks these subcompact crossovers.
Yeah, up front, we've got 42 inches of legroom and just over 39 inches of headroom.
So unless you're wearing a cowboy hat or an aggressive man bun, you're probably good.
Yeah. In the back seat, you're looking at roughly 32 inches of rear legroom and about 39 inches of headroom, which is pretty solid for its class.
Yeah, adults fit back there without immediately resenting the driver, and my kiddos fit fine. Plenty of space to climb in and out at car line too.
Yeah, and cargo space is also pretty respectable. You get about 25 cubic feet behind the rear seats and just under 67 cubes with all the seats folded.
Yeah, so groceries, strollers, Costco runs, or that hobby lifestyle, it just works.
Yeah, so let's talk about comfort, because this XLE trim is where the Corolla Cross starts feeling properly upgraded. Up front, you've got heated seats and a heated steering wheel, which is pretty rare for this class, and a power adjustable driver's seat standard on the XLE.
I love that the heated seats are controlled also by switches. So old school. And you also have a heated steering wheel, man. You can't go back to the cold hands.
Yeah, we've also got power sunroof and power liftgate thanks to the $1,250 convenience package. Sunroof isn't huge necessarily, but it does brighten up the space.
Yeah, and there's also these Portobello trim seats, which might be my favorite part here. It's Toyota saying beige, but with confidence.
Yeah, honestly though, I mean, it looks good. It feels durable. It gives the interior some warmth instead of that boring gray on black sadness.
Yeah. All right, so quick tech check, because this is where subcompacts can either feel modern or like a rental car from 2018.
Yeah, thankfully it doesn't feel like it still has a USB-A port labeled iPod.
All right, front and center you get Toyota's 8-inch touchscreen on the XLE. It's not massive, but it's clean, responsive, and the right size for this thing.
Yeah, and more importantly, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which means no cables, no excuses, and no angry passengers.
Yeah, and right in front of the driver is a fully digital 7-inch configurable gauge cluster. I can bring up navigation, music, adaptive cruise, and the important all-wheel drive power details.
Yes, and it's easy to read too, which sounds basic, but that seems to be optional in a lot of cars these days. Toyota gets the simple things right.
Yeah, and our tester is also optioned with the $800 JBL premium audio system. It's loud, clear, and doesn't fall apart when you crank that bass up.
Yeah, and tech-wise, we got Toyota's full Safety Sense Suite standard. We got adaptive cruise, lane keep, emergency braking. It's always watching and judging.
Yeah, so anything that you don't like about the interior and the tech on this Corolla Cross?
And the interior does a good job. There are some scratchy materials here and there, so particularly I don't enjoy this. Yeah, that hard touch there and this mousy material at the top.
Yeah, this is much like what we found in that CX-30. Doesn't feel great, but it's obviously cheap. So
yeah.
It's built to a price point. And you know, the safety sense is a great value, I think, but it's also kind of intrusive sometimes. You know, it'll like start braking if there's a car in front of you, like way in front of you, and you know, just sometimes makes you want to turn it off. All right, so we need to find a spot to swap now and get you behind the wheel of this Corolla Cross.
I'm excited. All right, my turn behind the wheel. And let's set expectations right away. The Corolla Cross is not here to set lap times.
Yeah, no Nürburgring stickers or track day stickers on this one whatsoever.
No, power comes from a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. It makes 169 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. It is paired with Toyota's CVT, which is pretty common for this segment.
And it's not just any CVT, it's the CVT with intelligence and shift mode. That means that it'll simulate shifts to reduce that rubber band effect.
This one also comes with all-wheel drive, and Toyota uses a pretty straightforward setup. It'll send power to the rear when it needs to, in rain or snow, but for the most part, it's prioritizing efficiency by turning just those front wheels.
Yeah, so performance-wise, 0 to 60 happens in about 8.5 seconds, and the quarter in the 16-ish second range, so it's not quick, but it's predictable. And honestly, that is what most people want from something like this.
Yeah, I mean, where this thing shines is how easy it is to drive. The steering is light, visibility is good, handling is competent, but the suspension is pretty compliant.
Yeah, it's definitely tuned more for comfort than aggression, and it feels, you know, super approachable around town and, you know, out on the highway as well.
Yeah, it'll handle corners just fine, but it's happiest cruising and commuting and soaking up all the rough pavement. And the payoff is efficiency.
Yeah, so EPA ratings for our all-wheel drive model are 21 in the city, 31 on the highway, for about 30 combined, which means fewer gas station visits and more money for Starbucks.
Yeah, so the Corolla Cross basically drives how it looks. It's calm, it's competent, it's not really trying to prove anything.
Yeah, you know, if you want speed, Toyota has some other great options, but if you want something easy, efficient, and predictable, this one nails the brief.
All right, so what are some things that we feel like Toyota could improve with?
Yeah, you know, the red herring out there is the hybrid, right? So there's a hybrid Corolla Cross model, only $2,000 more than this, and you get much better gas mileage, rated at 46 in the city, 39 on the highway for 42 combined. You get a little bit more power too, so that makes a lot of sense, and really, I don't understand why someone would pick the gas variant over the hybrid variant.
Yeah, I think the hybrid is probably a no-brainer in this choice, and you know, although this kind of goes against it, I will say I think the CVT in here, it makes this engine drone and the droning noise that this engine makes is not pleasant.
Not pleasant. No, it's not a great sounding 2-liter 4-cylinder. You know, it's not like the Civic Type R or anything like that. Does not sound great. Yeah. And the CVT, obviously winds that thing up all the way and just doesn't sound great when you're really getting your boot into it, trying to eke out that 8.5 second 0 to 60 time. All right, now that we've wrapped that up, it is time for Would You Rather.
That's right. We're going to pit this Toyota Corolla Cross XLE against 3 of its competitors and say which one we would rather have.
Yeah, the Corolla Cross XLE is pretty reasonable, starting at only $31,000, and our tester rings the register with that, JBL audio and that convenience pack at about $34,735 delivered. But let's check our options. So first up, we've got a pretty popular alternative, which is the Honda HR-V EXL. Starts at about $31,000, has 158 horsepower, 25 in the city, 30 on the highway, 9 seconds to 60, so almost equally as slow as this. Which one would you rather have?
Honestly, they're pretty similar in my book. It's hard to, put them head to head here, but I just prefer the interior styling of the Honda, so I'm going to go with that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I actually prefer this.
Okay.
This kind of gives you like a more squared off SUV feel to it. So I think I would actually choose this over the Honda HR-V, which kind of feels a little bit more car-like to me. All right, so we pitched it against the CX-30, so how about a Subaru?
Ooh.
The Crosstrek Limited. Starts at about $34,000 base, 180 horsepower, 26 in the city, 33 on the highway, about 8 seconds to 60 as well. So which one would you rather have?
If we're comparing like gas-to-gas competitors, I have to say, I think the Crosstrek is an interesting option. I mean, it's not exactly the traditional SUV, but I think it has an interesting powertrain, and so Subaru does a good job tuning its all-wheel drive system. I think it's a pretty solid all-wheel drive system compared to this. So I would go with the Crosstrek.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Crosstrek as well, just largely because of that all-wheel drive system. Subaru is the best in the business. You do lose a little bit of functionality with it, just to like utility efficiency, things of that nature. But, I like quirky cars, and the Subaru is definitely a little bit more quirky than this. So I would go with the Crosstrek as well. All right, so how about something a little bit more feature-packed, even than this? The Kia Seltos SX. Starts at about 31 grand, 195 horsepower from that turbocharged, I think 1.5 liter Turbo 4, and only 24 in the city, 27 on the highway, so you do feel a little bit more paid at the pump, but you're about under 8 seconds to 60. So which one would you rather have?
Kia has done an amazing job packing their cars with content, and the styling on them looks pretty good too. Even though the new Seltos coming out looks fantastic, I'd still honestly pick the Seltos over this. I just think it brings a lot of features to the table for a really great price.
Interesting. I'd actually choose this because I think Toyota's done a great job packing this with features. There's nothing in here that I really want that it doesn't have, right? Like really the only thing that it might not have that I really would like would be that 360 camera, but it's so small, it's really easy to park. You don't really need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose this. I'm gonna go with that Toyota reliability, resale value, and all the utility that this thing comes with.
Well, there you have it. Now, let's pull off for our final thoughts.
All right, so we have come back to where we started to talk about our final thoughts here on the Toyota Corolla Cross. And there's a lot to like in this package.
Yeah, namely what Toyota does really well, right? And that is quality. Everything you touch inside is built with a purpose and it's built well. And Toyota is known for that. And if you're looking for something that is well put together, you can't really go wrong with a Toyota product right now.
Not at all. And one of the other things they have done really well is they have packed this thing full of content. There's a lot of features in this little subcompact SUV that you would expect to see in something that costs a lot more. We've got heated seats, we've got a heated steering wheel, we've got lane tracing. They have really packed the features into this thing.
Not to mention the colors on this. You actually have colors available. This beautiful blue. We also have that red metallic color from Mazda that's available on this car too.
Exactly. You can get Soul Red, which is one of Mazda's rare Takamine colors, on a Toyota. Probably the only one that you can actually get one of those cool Mazda colors on. Or you can get this blue, which matches your sweatshirt.
I totally did that by accident.
But it's not all great, right? So there's other things that can be improved with this Toyota Corolla Cross, namely the performance.
Yeah, most buyers in this segment are not looking for a sports car or anything like that. But there are competitors that offer much more power for a similar price. So we would like to see Toyota step it up a little bit. maybe even, I don't know, there's a hybrid option, I guess, right?
Yeah, so the hybrid is also out there. That is really just the fly in the ointment in this entire lineup, because you've got that hybrid there for only $2,000 more, which gets you a little bit better performance and a lot better fuel mileage. So that kind of gets a lot of us to thinking is, so why doesn't everyone just buy the hybrid?
And on that fantastic revelation, it's time to end.
Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on The Driver's Line. Hit that like button and subscribe for more car reviews, specials, and podcasts.
A special shout out to our partner Drive Shop for fleet management, keeping us fueled up and on the road, enabling us to keep bringing great content to you.
Yeah, and this particular one comes with all-wheel drive, and Toyota uses a pretty straightforward setup. It'll send powers to the rear... Powers.